Hello, welcome to Rarely Rad, episode 5. It is, of course, Haley and Isabel
Ayo.
coming at you. At first, when we were about to record this episode, I was like, wait, this is coming out on like leap day, but it's not. We're a day early.
Oh.
So that kind of would have been cool, but of course, it's not going to be that way.
Rarely cool.
Basically.
So I wanted to preface to new listeners who we may have who are probably like, what does rarely rad even mean? Essentially, long story, go back to the first episode, but short story, we count our days like that we don't spend money as rad, and obviously every day is expensive, so we are rarely rad.
Yeah,
And
we're trying to be bands, which means not spending money. And the way we started tracking it, they use the word rad, and now it's in our everyday lingo. But we are rarely rad.
I've only had 8 rad days this month.
Oh,
It's been
yeah,
rough.
that's awful. My
Yeah.
goal this month was to get 15, and I think I'm at 12 right now. I'll be rad today, and we're recording on the 26th. So I think I can make it to 15. But I definitely need to be like self-aware of it. And it's just gonna be like one of those things where everything just keeps going on my Amazon list. And then finally at the end of the month, I'll be like, okay, purchase. And then that'll be an awful day. But it happens to the best of us.
Honestly, the perks of doing that though is that it kinda gives you like a second, like, "Oh, do I really need to buy this?" type of thing.
Oh, 100%. We now have 11 5 stars on Spotify. So
Ayo.
we're in the double digits. We're on our way to triple digits. If you're a listener and you haven't rated us yet, and you're going to rate us a 5, then go rate us. If you're not going to rate us a 5, then don't. It's like kind of exciting. And now we've had the podcast for a month.
Yeah, 1 month Annie.
Somehow we're still doing it. Don't anyone has a better editing tool than Riverside? Please let us know. Because it is a struggle. Definitely in episode 4, the end of it's kind of a hot mess. Even P-Dog listened to it today and he called me and he was like, yeah, the ending of that one's kind of weird.
It was
And I was like, yeah.
insane. It just, like I think the way the file, like, uploaded just didn't work, and after working on it for, like, 2 hours, just 5 minutes, I was like, "I can't." I was like, "It's gonna sound bad, Haley, like, I don't care."
Yeah, well, and I tried to fix it too. That file was just broken and there was no coming back. And at that point, we had already put like, I don't know, 6 hours of editing in. And so it was going to be what it was going to be because this is our unpaid internship at the moment. No more time was getting put into it.
Also for our listeners, if there are any topics you want us to discuss, you can email us. Or you can, like, write a comment or something. Our email is rarelyradpod@gmail. Or if you have our phone number, you can text us as well. That might be easier.
Yeah, or just go on our Instagram. Oh, and one of our recent reels that kind of popped off, you got a lot of hate on it.
I know.
It was like, we're kind of famous.
Well, you need haters to be famous, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Been having a lot of like really nice weather. Did you guys have good weather for the lake? No.
So, the lake. So my friend's like, "Oh, we have a boat." And I was like, "Oh, cool, like, that's so fun." This boat holds barely 4 people. Don't get me
This is your
wrong.
first time on this boat?
Yeah. She's like, "I don't want you to get your hopes up, like, it's a small boat." And, like, I don't know what I thought, like, was a small boat, but this thing was tiny, and so we're all 4, like, just trying to, like, chuck along. It's got super windy, and we can't even go fast because the boat is, like, barely staying afloat. So we're just like
Everyone get out a paddle.
and, like, it was actually kinda cold, it was, like, 49,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like I brought a bathing suit and everything, like, I was just ready, and I told Austin, he's like, "I'm gonna wear sweatpants," because we ended up just, like, sailing up to a little island and just kinda hanging out there,
Yeah.
drinking some drinks. Because once the sun came out, it felt good, but I told Austin, I was like, "You're gonna regret not bringing a bathing suit," and the dude was shivering, he put the towel around him because he was so cold, and it was that Positano towel that I stole, remember?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But he
Yeah, we
was
were
like
super windy too on Saturday. Like, it's a good thing I don't weigh 4 pounds or else I think I would have been blown away. So on the belt, we went on the Beltline and our Kroger on the Beltline, Murder Kroger, they have like a bar area outside with TVs. And dude, the TVs were swaying like crazy. I was like, and people were all sitting under them. I was like, this is how I see someone die. All of a sudden, one of these TVs is just gonna fall and decapitate someone.
honestly, though, that could be bans because of lawsuit.
Yeah, Yeah, I should have stood under it. My luck would be like the TV next to me fell. We were super windy too, but since it's so warm, the bugs are now coming out. One, my allergies
Ew.
are awful. I could not stop sneezing all weekend, and I feel like everyone was like, "This girl's getting sick," but literally, and I still don't sound normal. My allergies, and then for work today, I went and saw one of my stores, and she was saying she brought up how she couldn't stop sneezing because of allergies, and I was like, "Okay, thank you." Everyone was telling me I was basically a crazy person because I'm like my allergies, and it's too early for allergies. The allergies do not have a time frame, and they're hitting early this year. Also, with the warmth, bugs are out. I forget every year. Somehow my house gets infested with fucking ladybugs. Everyone says, "Oh, they're good luck." They're not good luck when I can see 8 of them in my shower.
Ew. You know what? Better than cockroaches.
1000%. I guess if there were to be a bug in my house, I would
That's the
prefer it to
best
be a
one.
ladybug. That is
Yeah.
true. But like there's so many of them and literally everyone says, "Oh, that's so good. Like that's good luck." And I'm like, "Not when they're literally everywhere." And they mainly are in my bedroom and my bathroom. I don't know what it is, but every year this time of year, they're in there. So I keep my little bottle of bleach in my shower. So then when I shower, I just spray them. I don't know what else to do. I don't want to like smush it, like kind of
Yeah.
gross. So yeah, I just
I
spray them.
see. Ladybugs are the only insect I'll touch, so I'll just like move them out. But also, like, let's be
Also
honest
in the
here.
shower. What am I gonna be
Yeah.
doing? Picking 'em up and walking outside. Hey
I will
Carl.
I will also say, for the amount of ladybirds that you have, you don't have any luck.
No, exactly. The amount of times I've been shit on by a bird. But I mean, I guess I killed a ladybug, so that doesn't help. Even when I was waiting to get on or waiting for you to get on here, I was Googling how to kill ladybugs in house.
Don't they have
And
something that
really
you can like some sort of like smelly thing that they all like flock to?
that's what I was looking up because, like, you know how you can like do those like little mixtures and stuff to put out for like fruit flies and stuff. There's really not. They do say like dish soap and water, but it's basic. It doesn't attract them. It sounds like if they go in it, they get stuck.
Got it.
Like it was the stupidest things. There was one thing that was like duct tape, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, what's it do with duct tape? And they're like, wrap duct tape around your finger, and then they'll stick to it. I'm like,
I'll
no,
just pick it up at that point.
I'm not trying to like be the one collecting them. I'm trying for them to collect themselves so I can discard of them. Did see on Amazon apparently they have like those little bags that you can hang.
Yeah, that's what I
They'll
was
go
thinking.
into. So not this week because we're gonna be rad this week. I might purchase some of those just because I don't know what else to do. And it's like it's awful. It's embarrassing. I have like someone comes over, ladybugs.
Kind of agree with that. I mean, like I said, it could be a worse bug, but
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to Puerto Rico this week.
Have you packed?
Yeah, actually I've started and usually I'm like a 5 minute before kind of
Well, you
packer.
guys had themed outfit.
One day.
Oh,
But then
only
we
one day.
also
Okay.
we also are doing some sort of like excursion, like hike thing, which like I love my
Are you like
friends, but
zip lining or
I think there's swing rope. Is that what it's called? Swing rope?
a rope swing?
Yeah. Yes. I think there's one of those, but a little bit of an interesting situation. So the girl's birthday, her and I are very close. She's one of my best friends, and I've known her since high school. Another girl
As
I used
always,
to
go
play.
Huskies.
Yeah. Another girl I went to high school with for like a year, and then she moved to Tennessee or something. And another girl I met one time when I went to visit my friend, and then the other two I've never met. So I'm a little bit nervous. I don't
You're
really
good in those
know.
situations. They're just gonna think you're weird as shit.
Well, that's my concern is like I make a joke, they don't get it. I drop off the rope swing, like I just let go. If you don't get my sense of humor, like I don't think we can be friends.
I think it'll be fine, especially if they're friends with your friends. Like,
Yeah,
usually, especially how many of y'all are there? 5?
I think so.
If it's that small of a group, usually I feel like everyone can overall get along.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a 10-day trip. It's Thursday, we come back Sunday. There should not be any drama.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly.
So do it for the pod.
This sounds dumb, but are things in Puerto Rico expensive? Because they use the US dollar.
Puerto Rico's the country. No, that's Cuba. I was gonna say that like looks like it's from like decades ago, but that's Cuba, where they like still drive all the old cars and whatnot.
Cuba, Haiti. Well, we're not even allowed. I think, are we allowed back into Cuba? I'm pretty sure we're still, like, the US is still banned from.
We were in like a friend from college went, I want to say in 2018,
I
2017.
want to say they lifted the ban, but I know there's certain ways families around getting
Yeah,
to
it's like
Cuba.
religious travel and things like that.
Yeah, and I think, like, certain cruise lines were able to go, and if you had dual citizenship, you were able to go.
Are y'all staying in, like, an Airbnb or at a resort or
Yeah, Airbnb, it's really nice, it's got a rooftop, and it's in Old San Juan, which is the
Sure.
capital, but apparently it's really nice there, and it's, like, near the life like, nightlife, so I don't know, I'm excited, it's gonna be cool. In my mind, I have, like, Key West vibes.
I don't think it's gonna be like that.
I've never, like, looked at pictures of Puerto Rico. I have no idea what to expect other than cobblestone roads, which I don't even know if that's a Puerto Rico thing.
I think it's like there's, like, rainforests.
Yeah, I know there's rainforest because that's where one of the excursions is. We're like
Do they have monkeys?
I don't know. Like I said, I've never looked at anything. Like, I'm kinda just making this like a blindfold trip. Like,
I
she
mean,
was
that's
like,
how we
asked me
always are. How
yeah.
much
Well,
do you
like
have Venmo?
but, like, usually trips, like, I'll go to Italy, like, I know about Italy. I've gone to, like, Greece, like, I know about Greece. Like, I know 0 about Puerto Rico other than that they use the US dollar.
Well, I mean, that works out well though because then you don't have, like, the conversion.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean
speaking of, did you get your Stanley?
so it's arrived, but because it's from the Canada website, I had to ship it to my uncle who lives in Canada, and he is flying down to the US coincidentally and shipping it from the US to my apartment. So this
Oh
is like
my
a
god.
whole like
So does this even end up being bans after now you have to pay for more shipping?
well, I'm not gonna pay for it. It's my uncle.
Is
He
that
doesn't have
Dennis?
kids. Yeah.
He's a
Oh
pod
my god.
fan.
Sometimes he listens.
I
Sorry.
know. I was gonna say he's a pod fan.
You know, maybe I'll buy him like dinner or something. You know, I'm like
Yeah.
old enough to the point where
I
like
mean, you just gave him a shout out, so really that's all he needs.
yeah, exactly.
So it
um
has arrived at his house though.
Yeah, he sent me a
Okay.
picture like or late last week or something. One thing I wanted to talk about, so we went to the soccer game this past weekend.
It was the
I
first
just
one, right?
yeah, first one of the season. I went to go get a bottle of Sprite. It cost me $10. Scam.
Not bans.
Awful basically. And this is the worst part. They're like, "Oh, we have to open it for you. It's a bottle." And I'm like, "Okay, but like what if I don't want to chug it all? It's just going to sit there." Then so they manually open it for me and then they want me to tip them. Yeah, I am tired of this
Is it like one of
tipping.
those iPad things where it like automatically comes up?
Yeah, but
Or
they're
does it give you
standing
a receipt where you gotta sign and tip?
no, they're and it's not like usually they stand across the counter from you. No, they're standing right next to you, watching you. And I
I
was like,
hate that shit.
I felt obligated to tip, like, it's so uncomfortable, but I'm so tired of this tipping culture, like, I don't mind tipping my hairdresser, I don't mind tipping at, like, a restaurant, but
Or like
you
if a
just
bartender's making me a drink, but if a bartender's handing me a high noon, dude, and I'll give them like $1 per can,
yeah,
but that's all we're doing.
this
You
girl didn't even open
handed
my
me
bottle of Sprite, I had to open it myself, like, it's such a scam, like, there's so many places I saw somewhere this is the weird one, I have not been to Starbucks, and I'm not an avid coffee drinker. Starbucks has, like, now a 7-star rating when it should be, like, 5 stars or 10 stars.
Is it because is their logo 7 stars?
I think it's 3.
I don't even think there's stars in it.
No, I think it's just a mermaid.
Well, she does have a star on her crown, but for
You
some
know what
reason,
you're thinking?
the things around her, I thought they were stars.
Oh, I was gonna say because it's called Starbucks.
No, well, yes, but I definitely thought there were stars on the logo. That shows how much I drink coffee. I had someone give me a like Starbucks gift card. I want to say like at this point probably 4 years ago, and I still have it. And it's in my email because of course it was a virtual one, and so I like it's one of those emails I keep unread for like the day I finally like need to use it and find it. It'll be
Yeah.
easy. That's how often I go to Starbucks.
Yeah, I actually was fortunate enough to get one. I watched somebody's dog, basically just took him out, and she gave me a $10 Starbucks gift card. Like I said, I don't really drink coffee, but the next week I got 3 hours of sleep and I had to go to an engagement party and I just could not stay awake for like I was just we had to drive 3 hours there. It was gonna be like one of those all day engagement parties, like not like a 2-hour event you drive
Yeah.
home. And I actually ended up getting Starbucks. And I was like saying, because I hate the thought of paying for Starbucks because one, it's not cheap.
No, not at all.
And like because I'm not an avid coffee drinker, I kind of feel like I'm wasting my money, but I
Yeah.
needed it at that point. So honestly, the gift card like really helped me out.
Yeah. Oh, also, I have been pop culture. I've been watching all of Love is Blind. I'm completely caught up. It is the 26th. So more episodes come out, what, the 28th? The day this episode airs, right?
No, the day after comes out on Thursday, I believe.
Well, whatever. Basically, why I watched it is one of my ex-coworkers, Laura, is on it. She and I worked together at my very first job. Like I've known her for a while. Obviously, we don't like chat often anymore. Like I'm not here for the clout of saying I know her. But she was like someone, especially coming right out of college, she was someone I like really looked up to. And I was like, I want to be Laura one day. And so I've seen her through her relationships, kind of mostly through social media and everything. And then when she posted that she was going on Love is Blind, I was like, I have to watch this episode because I don't think I've watched since the first season, which I think was 2020. Like it was like COVID time. And so I was like, everyone was watching literally anything that was out because there was nothing else to do. Wow. This has been crazy.
I know. I will say I actually do kind of like Laura. And there's only like, I don't really like anybody. Like I do like Laura. Austin, my boyfriend, his former coworker is Johnny. And Johnny is very nice. I met him a couple times. I really liked him, but I wouldn't consider us like friends or anything.
Yeah.
Him and Amy to me are the most promising couple.
Oh my God. They are the best. They're so cute. They're just so happy. They definitely, I mean, they have that like whole birth control issue, but she just posted on social media, like how they like talked about it more and everything. And I think they're definitely going to get married.
I think they're staying together. I think they're still together too. Getting married. I kind of creeped through his social media and I feel like there was like something he posted like this like Kim Possible, or it was like Phineas and Ferb meme. And it was like when you get like a hot girl. And it was like something funny. And I was like, to me,
I love his personality and they're just like both so happy. I feel like I'm a lot like Laura in some ways. And so when I watch it, I'm like, yeah, I do the same thing. The way she just listened to Jeramey lie while knowing all the facts, like, don't boys know? If I'm asking, I already know the answer.
The way she handled that, I couldn't. I would have been like, I know where you were last night. Like she was just so like I didn't think she actually knew.
Like he just kept digging his hole and he's like, no, I was in the parking lot. We stayed back to chat.
You
chat
know what?
5 a.m.
Lost and Found doesn't even have a parking lot. It has.
And then he's like, oh, the alley right next door.
I don't even know what alley that is. Technically, it has 4 spots. It's 1 handicap and then 4 like spots, but you can't.
Oh,
you
and
can't
then
park
he's in
there.
his damn sunglasses, like sitting there. Like I just can't. Laura doesn't follow him on social media, and Sarah Ann doesn't follow him either. Speaking of, did you ever find out if LB actually knows Sarah Ann?
No, but speaking of Sarah Ann, if you've seen her on TikTok, it kind of looks like Jeramey and her together. She posted a video, and you know how, first of all, can we talk about this picture? Everybody owns that picture of the cow.
Literally everyone. Where did everyone buy it? Because everyone owns it. I don't. I'm not basic, but literally everyone.
Yeah, and so, but in one of her TikToks, there's like a corner of a black and white, like you can't see the cow, but you're kind of like, oh, like it's. I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't know. She's made some weird like lives.
I don't think they follow each other, but that might be part of the plot. You know.
Yeah.
How do you think he should have got? Okay, one, fuck her for that message she sent Jeramey. Hey, if things don't work out, let me know. Not a girl's girl. I mean, the audacity. And it was right of him to bring it to Laura, but like he didn't shut it down and he's like, oh, well, I just liked it. No, that wasn't the right answer. No.
I don't think the like actually would have bothered me that much for me personally, but there seems to be more because Laura said something where
there was like 1000% more. I mean, I don't even think like he wasn't going out to meet friends or anything. He was going out to meet Sarah Ann that night. Like with his whole story of like another Love is Blind guy told me that she was going to be there just in case. And I don't want to change my life just because of her. So I knew I was going to just face it. Fuck you.
He went out to see her. That was
you went out to see her. You like, don't know. Jimmy and Amber. No, not Jimmy and Amber. Jimmy and Chelsea. I don't like
happening. The run she did. It reminds me of, Monsters Inc. Roz, the one that's like, I'm watching you.
Yeah.
That's what she reminded me of.
She just reminds me of a little T-Rex, and that might be because she even says, like, my T-Rex run. I think she's a crybaby.
She's very insecure. I also don't think, how they showed, like, a preview, and they're like, you slept with her, like, whatever I don't think it's about Jessica. I think it's about one of his female friends.
Barbara.
That's an unfortunate name at this age.
Yeah, no, yeah, the girl Barbara. There was the little blonde girl that was his friend, and then the brunette girl that like came tan with like her boobs all out. Her. And I saw a TikTok too playing it, and you just see his face when he sees her stuff. And obviously he knew they were meeting, but like everyone's like they've hooked up for sure.
I also think it's odd that you're introducing her to your friends and you bring 2 girls. Like, you don't have any male friends?
That's my thought too. And then like they even that conversation were like, what are your thoughts of like, him having really close girlfriends? I'm like, yeah, I get it, but like, you literally don't have anyone else. It's just odd. I think Jess was way too hot for him, and Jess would have loved him with her whole heart, but like he wasn't deserving of her or Autumn. Chelsea is just, like she's way too insecure. She needs to work on herself before she can be married. But I did in the preview, they do show her all in her wedding dress.
Yeah, but I think they show everybody in their wedding dress. Jessica, whatever, her being just like, I'm way hotter than her. Like, I just thought that was kind of like, she's like, I'll take him back if he wants. Like, I don't know. I felt like that was like, she's like, and you guys all know I'm better looking. Like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, you just so badly want to be the one that got away.
I don't mind it, and I don't hate it for her because she was so in love with him, and he just like fucked with her emotion.
Kind of get where she's coming from, but also I just feel like I don't.
Yeah, the way she's reacting's not great, but at the time, that's what she had. So I don't disagree with it. Yes, again, not great, but like it is what it is, and she's not wrong.
I also think she would have been a little drunk because she had like a glass of wine and they'd obviously been out for drinks.
Yeah, 1000%. And 80 in Clay. 80 just needs to
No,
run.
just
She's
leave.
a sweet gal. One, she's choosing between Matthew, who's like, America's gonna be on my side, and Clay.
Clay gave so many red flags so early on.
The fact that Clay just keeps saying he's worried about being loyal and not cheating. No,
He's telling you he's going to cheat on you. He is handing you the answer on a silver platter. He said it in front of his mom.
yes. And then he's like, well, I don't understand the problem. Like, if you don't agree with my work and like me spending the night elsewhere. And she's like, and that's when she was like, work's never been the problem. And he was like, well, then what is? She's like, hello. And even his mom was like, if you like someone enough, you will make time for them.
Yeah.
What, Kenneth and
Brittany thought they were really like the real deal because I felt like they aligned on like she used to be a teacher, he is a principal. They aligned like
also, how is he damn 25 and a principal of a middle school?
all you need is like a master's. There's people from our high school that have been principals or that are currently principals.
Woo!
I'm not gonna mention their name.
You're gonna have to tell me after.
Yeah, I saw it on like LinkedIn or Facebook or something. But apparently I think you might like just need a master's.
Yeah, you 100% need a master's. I don't know.
I think it's a difficult position to acquire though, because you probably have to be a teacher for X amount. You have to do well at teaching. I'm sure your students have to score well in, the FCAT or whatever the heck it is that they take these days. I think the thought of it, like, yeah, you just need a master's, but then there's a lot like in between that requires.
Yeah, I just like the fact that he's 25. Like, and he got his master. I mean, think about it. If he finished college at a normal age, we'll say 21, gets his master's. I don't know, what's that? A year? 22, and now he's 25 and already a principal. Like, wow. Like, I can't even imagine.
The pastor or something like that.
Yeah, I saw someone like that too. I don't really know, but
You mentioned it in the pod.
I loved her.
Yeah, I thought she was so sweet,
so bubbly, and yeah, as soon as he just started shutting down on the boat, I was like, this is gonna be bad. Like,
I kind of, even on the boat, I had a little bit of hope because I thought maybe he's just kind of one of those. He seemed like a quiet, just introverted kind of guy, and I was like, okay, like, maybe they're just trying to get used to life outside of their pod. But soon as the first thing he did when he come home, scrolling through his phone, and it's like,
that man was a screen head.
Yeah, phone world McGee.
She's unpacking and she's like, which drawers do you want? He's not even answering. And then he's like, oh, finally, he's like, sorry, emails. Bitch, emails? I don't know. We were just in the pods for how many days? Come on.
Yeah.
Time and place.
Phonehead guys, I don't like phone world. I find it also very disrespectful if I'm having a conversation with you and you're just scrolling and I'm actually trying to talk to you about like important things. There's one
Yeah.
thing being like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. Give me a second. I have to respond to this."
Yep.
And then you continue on. You know, it can be work, it has to be your mom, sometimes it's something important from your friend.
Yeah.
But just being like, "Yeah," and then because you're on your phone, it takes like 30 seconds for you to respond, and at that point, I've already repeated myself and I'm annoyed, and I
Yeah.
think it's rude.
No, because it is. I do kind of can't wait for these next episodes. I kind of wish Chelsea chose Trevor.
Yeah, but have you seen apparently he had a girlfriend while he was in the
I
pod?
did, and I've seen those texts leaked too, where he's like, "I love
Okay.
you so much," blah 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 blah. So yeah, I mean, in the end of the day, I think a lot of the girls were good girls this season,
Yeah,
and the men fucking sucked.
I agreed.
Per usual, which is why we need to be able to impregnate ourselves.
I freaking, Stingray. No, but
Yeah,
somebody was
she
like,
still
"This
hasn't
is."
had her pups, or as
I
of
know,
like
I've checked.
yesterday. Yeah, I did too.
I saw and it was like, "This isn't an accurate depiction of the Charlotte dating life." And I was like, "No, this is a very accurate depiction of Charlotte dating." It sucks. Like, the men here, they're all kind of the same, you know? It's finance city over here, so and it's, like, the South, so it's, like, all button-ups or, like, golf polos and khakis, and there's
One
not a
thing
lot
okay,
of, like,
one
mixture.
last thing about, Love Is Blind is before the season even came out and I watched, like, the about me's or whatever it is that they do,
Yeah,
like, this is and blah, 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 blah. I wrote down
yeah,
a list of people that I wrote 3 people that I thought Laura would end up with, just, like, from their like, the little, like, clip of, like, 10 seconds of, like, "I'm
yeah,
Haley, I'm 28, I'm in sales, I love sports," type of thing.
yeah.
I wrote down 3 people. Number 1 was Jeramey.
He sucks. Like,
I was like,
I
"Holy shit, look at me go." Number 2 was Vince. I don't even think we really saw Vince.
I don't even remember who
I
that
don't know
is.
who that is. And then number 3 was Matthew, which she really didn't have a connection with. They never really even showed any of their meetings. I feel like those basically were Laura talking the entire time and Matthew just sitting in there. Alright,
Probably.
on to the next question I have for you.
Okay, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, Jeremy, I didn't like him the moment like he started talking when he was like, "Oh, I have a huge personality." He kind of reminds me of a theater kid, like very theatrical, very just like annoying.
I
And
mean,
not all
it
theater
is
kids are like that,
accurate.
but he's very theatrical, and he's just. I'm like, get it together. Your personality isn't big. Your personality is douchey and annoying. It's not calling you have saying you have a big personality doesn't like
What
no.
are your thoughts on guys in Hawaiian shirts?
I honestly don't really think I have an issue with it.
I think, like, time and place.
I think time and place, and also I think you have to have a certain personality, in my opinion, to pull off a Hawaiian shirt.
I agree. I think he has it,
I think he does too.
but not in a good way.
Yeah. There's good way and there's bad way, and he's the bad way.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever really dated a Hawaiian shirt wearing type guy.
Yeah, I have not. No, I don't think I've ever dated like a Hawaiian shirt kind of guy.
Yeah, but I can like if you're on a vacation, get it. If you're like going to the pool, get it. If it's a concert or like a festival, get it.
I
Outside of
also think
that,
maybe sometimes like football games they can be kind of fun. Like if you're wearing like a sports one, I
yeah,
think
there
that's
are
kind
the
of fun.
sports ones. I can agree there. Yep, like your team oriented one.
Yeah.
Like, outside of that, I don't think I'm really into it. But a guy in
Yeah.
a Henley, glory be a man
Yeah,
in
I
a
like
Henley is
Henleys.
hot.
I'll say I think for Jeremy, he was wearing the Hawaiian shirt to, like, be silly and, like, grab attention. Like, he was,
Yeah,
like, pick me vibes type.
yeah. I think he's a boy pick me.
I think so too. I don't know, he just sucks.
'Cause isn't he the one that also, like, while he was in the pod, he kinda mentioned that he had a big dick?
Maybe.
I feel like he did. One of them did. I feel like it was either him or Jimmy.
I think it was Jimmy, actually.
I don't know. Out of them all, they all suck. Every single one of them sucks, other than Johnny, right? That's his name?
Johnny.
Yeah. Johnny seems like a good kid.
They're really cute together, I think. they seem
Yeah.
to like complement each other well.
I think everyone else is proving that love is in fact not blind. I was thinking about it, like, I don't even think the issue is the attraction or the looks. It's just like the issue of the shittiness of people.
I also think that love can be blind for certain people. Like, some people are more concerned like, I feel like love is more blind for women than men. Like, I think women are
Oh,
there's, like
100%. Women can totally fall in love with a personality.
yeah,
That's
because
why
every
women
woman
always
you
date
see
ugly men.
I know, every woman you see always looks better than their boyfriend.
Always. Like, there are very, very, very rare occasions where the guy is more attractive than the woman.
See, this is the problem because then men come out here thinking that they're hot shit, and I'm like, "Go back to your little troll cave. You're not that cute. You're medium ugly. We all know it."
You
Like,
pulled a hot girl. She was desperate.
she she was desperate. You offered her the things that she wanted. You offered her marriage and engagement within 6 months. That's what she wanted. You're there. Like, there's
You
so
were
many girls I know.
truthful. You didn't lie about where you were.
Yeah, honestly, the bar is so low, and I hate that for us.
I just hate it for so many women, and, like, it's
That's what I'm
sad
saying
too
for
because
us.
then there's so many women out there that are just desperate to be in that relationship. Thank goodness for, like, there are the girls like Laura that are like, "Fuck this, I'm out." But then, like, I don't know, Chelsea's gonna stay in the relationship.
Yeah, I think she will want to marry him, but I think he's not gonna wanna marry her.
I think so too. Maybe he's thinking about Barbara.
That's an unfortunate name at this day and age. You can go by
Yeah,
Barbie.
or Babs. I kinda like Babs. Not that I would go by it, but my name's also not Barbara.
I don't think I look like a Barbara. I don't even think I look like an Isabel.
Draw a picture of a Barbara, she wouldn't be under the age of 60.
No. Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's actually, I saw this thing, and it's probably this way for the name Karen as well, but in the UK, nobody after I can't remember what year it is, so don't quote me on it, but I think it was like 1975 is named Gary because it just like everybody's like, oh, just imagine looking at your baby, be like, I'm gonna name him Gary.
When I hear the name, I just think of SpongeBob.
Yeah, like it's not like a hot name.
No, that's it, like, that's his pet.
But that's what if so I was just like, I feel like Karen is probably the same way. Like, imagine you're born in 2020, which is kind of when like the Karen phenomenon came to life. After that, oh, your name is Karen? Yikes. Yeah. So
Damn.
maybe I'll have that answer for us next week. I'm gonna see how many people after 2020 are born with the name Karen.
Apparently, a lot of, like, grandma-y names are coming back in style too.
I've noticed that. I see like Edith
Yeah.
and
I wonder if we're
I
gonna
see
have a
them
bunch
on
of, like, baby Lindas.
I don't see Linda. I see like Edith and I'll see like Annabelle and like Gwyneth.
Gwyneth.
Yeah, like I see a lot of well, this is on TikTok, so I I don't know for like for sure, but I was kind of
Source
surprised that
TikTok.
yeah, right, where we get all our news.
Haven't been scrolling recently, so no news here.
Yeah, I'm on, I'm obsessed with it. It's this guy, Nate the hoof guy, and he just, like, cleans cow hoofs all day, and I don't know what it is, it's so relaxing. He has, like, thousands of followers. Everybody's like, "This is" it's just one of the it's like when you watch, like, cleaning TikTok when you're like, "That's
Yeah.
so satisfying." It's like that. I'm always on rug cleaning TikTok.
Oh, I love those, or, like, when they're, like, cleaning the couch or whatever. Yeah,
Mhm.
I do enjoy those. Or somehow I always end up on the have you seen the coffee ones where they, like, the little thing over and they, like, sprinkle things and then they take it off and it's just, like, nothing, and then they, like, just stir it? And
Yeah,
I'm
I've
like,
seen those.
that is my life.
I'm just, like, not artistic like that. Even when I try, I follow, like, the exact recipe, directions, instructions, whatever. It's just not for me.
The issue is I feel like you don't follow exact recipe, you follow a version of it, but it's
I
not
don't I don't
it's
like being
not
told what to
it's
do.
not exactly, and that's your issue, like, when you made that pasta dish that called for yellow onion, and you're like, "Red onion works," and you threw a red onion in, and then the whole pasta dish was pink
It
and
was
tasted like
Barbie pink.
fucking onion.
Yeah, we just call it onions pasta. I'm obviously never making that again.
That's
I
my
just
issue with cooking is it'll have like 12 ingredients and it'll be like things I'm like, yeah, I got that. And then it's like fresh ginger. And I'm like, I don't really want to buy that. That seems like a lot of work. We won't use that one. That'll be like the
Also,
next thing. I'm
well,
like,
ginger's such like an awkward thing because you can only make so many things with ginger. So it's like it's just gonna sit there in your fridge forever.
exactly. And so then I take this 12 ingredient recipe and now I'm down to like 7. And then I make it. Not well. It doesn't taste that good. And it's just like, yeah, is it bad because of the recipe or is it bad because of the recipe that I made it into?
You went you went from 12 to 7, and 2 of those are salt and pepper.
Big facts. But I do have my cooking TikTok, Skinny Girl Haley. I'm up to 110 followers, so
I love
that's
that for
something.
you. I hit 4,700 followers today on my Twitter. Good day
Okay.
for me. We're
Yeah,
slowly getting there.
yeah.
Now
The
we just need
fame
this to blow up.
the fame is on its way. Hopefully the dollars are not far behind.
Yeah, the dollar I wish the dollars were coming in a little faster because for y'all that don't know, editing a podcast, it is actually a lot of work. Thank goodness there's 2 people because I would have quit by now. Like, I can't do it, and, like, Haley does most of the social media because if you saw my social media, you'd know why. I try to do the majority of the editing in return, and I also work from home, so it's kinda, like, a little easier for me to do it, but this editing shit, the first thing we do when we get rich is paying somebody to edit this thing.
Yeah, that's our first thing we're outsourcing for sure because it's not easy. But then we're gonna have to be on much more of a strict probably timeline for someone too of like when we record and when we have to get the pod out because would we be able to tell someone, yeah, we need this podcast edited and turned around in the next 24 hours? They'd probably be like, okay, fuck you. So
Well, and maybe we'd have to split it like 50, be like, you can do it this week, and I guess since this is 24 hours, we'll do it this week.
we get it, we suck.
So in the Bravo universe, where I kind of like spend a lot of my time, there's this couple. Okay, they actually one of them has a show on Netflix, Buying Beverly Hills.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't. It's kind of like Selling Sunset, but make it Beverly Hills. Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky, they've been together for 27 years, which is a lifetime in Beverly Hills. She used to be like a child actress. She did like Halloween back in the day, like the Halloween movies, and she's actually still in some of the Halloween movies. They announced they're separating, which I'm actually really sad about because they have a beautiful family. Their daughters are older. They're that kind of couple that I feel like you looked at and you're like, wow, they really like love each other. And this year they're like, we've only had 1 year of rough patch and this is that rough patch. It looks like she might be dating a female. There's been like rumors about it, and then on Watch What Happens Live, they were standing next to each other doing like a red carpet thing, and the country singer who is a known lesbian starts like tapping her butt, and they've been kind of known to like, I don't know, seems flirtatious. They made a music video together where they're making out.
Is this country singer famous?
Her name is Morgan Wade. So she's like, I don't know who she is, but I think she's like
I feel like I've heard of her before.
Yeah, I would say she's probably like C-list country singer. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really heard any of her music, but this past week was the season finale, and we still have the reunion. And Kyle was basically like, "Yeah,
Is Kyle
I
a
don't."
girl?
Kyle's a girl. I actually really like the
Okay.
name Kyle for a girl. Kyle, the girl, was like, "I don't know. There's things that's happened, and my trust has been broken in regard to her husband." She's like, "I don't know where I go from here." They've been together since they were like 22. Basically 30 years. It's a long time to be with somebody.
Yeah. Well,
And
we do know that lesbians and just gays in general, they move fast. So if they are in fact together, they will be living together, have at least a pet or something together, and probably be engaged before the end of 2024.
well, she
If
doesn't
they
even know
are
if she's getting divorced yet. So I don't really know what they're doing because they don't have a prenup. So I'm wondering if it's just going to be one of those situations where it's like they'll just stay married forever, but like see other people. You know what I mean? Just because
yeah.
it's easier than dealing with a divorce. She was one of those people. She always put her husband's job first. She always put her kids first. And now it seems like she's finally like putting herself first. And I kind of love that for her. You know?
Did she ever work?
Yeah, she was an actress. She still does like some movies.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
But,
she has 4
but he was
kids.
making the money.
Yeah, so he started a real estate company called The Agency and just kind of blew up.
He was making the money. She was living off that. So his job obviously came first because he was bringing in the big bucks.
Well, she's Paris Hilton's aunt. Like she's like rich.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah.
Dang.
So she's, like, rich on her own, but yeah, I don't know. I'm, like, I feel, like, sad about it. You know, it's I just hate seeing, like, couples break up or, like, divorce because 'cause I'm kinda like, we've all been through breakups, we know how much it hurts, like but then having, like, a whole marriage, kids, like, a different life, like, it's gotta suck.
You're right in the fact that, like, at least she like, maybe this is her time to, like, focus on herself and enjoy her own life and not have to worry about anyone else, and plus their kids are probably fucking grown.
Yeah, well, I think the youngest one's 14, but the other ones are, like, older. But I
That's
kinda
not
wonder, like
that grown, but
yeah, well, the other ones are, like, 26, 27.
yeah.
But I honestly kinda wonder, do you think it's more difficult for adult kids to have divorced to, like, their parents divorced at our age versus when we're younger? Because I think when you're younger, you kinda like, "Okay, this is how this is."
I
But
think
then
it
once
depends on the person and the age. I think if it happens when you're in college and past, like, it is what it is. You gotta understand. They're not happy. You don't even live at home anymore, so, like, it's really not affecting you other than maybe, like, the holidays, and, I mean, sometimes the parents can even do holidays together.
I kind of disagree because I think once you're older, your parents start seeing you as a friend. So they start talking to you about their relationship issues. And it's like, I'm your child. Don't want to know the shit you're talking about my mom or the shit you're talking about my
Yeah.
dad.
I will and I think that's just the maturity of the parent.
No, I agree, but I think it's one of those things where it's like, "Oh, well, this person is closest to me. This person knows my spouse the best or my ex-spouse
Yeah.
the best." So this, like and then I think I've noticed that in a lot of people that their parents are getting divorced at this like, when we're all at this age, their parents are just, like, treating you as a friend, and then they get mad. They're like, "Oh, well, you went over to his house or her house," and it's like, "Yeah, that's my dad," or, "Yeah, that's my mom." Like, what am I
Yeah.
supposed to do? Just never see them again because you are not on good terms with them?
No, I think that's just immaturity, and as an adult, grow the fuck up and understand. I mean, I think as a little kid, it's definitely I think it's just more confusing because 'cause you're just like, "Wait, like, dad's moving out of the house," or vice versa, and you're just like, "What?" And then so this week I gotta go spend it with mom, and next week I go spend it with dad, or, like, whatever it is. I think it would be really hard on, like, a middle schooler,
Middle school
just
is the
because
hardest, I think.
you're still like, you're trying to figure out who the fuck you are, and then now you got this thrown in there, and you're like, "I don't even know who my parents are because they don't even love each other." And you're
Yeah,
just like, "What the hell is going on?" I mean, I'm speaking out of my ass because my parents are still together, so
yeah, mine
I've
too, so
never experienced it, so no idea, but, like
I am pro-divorce. I think if
oh,
you're
yeah,
unhappy there's some people that are like, refuse to do it. They're like, "No, marriage is marriage," and I do respect the sanctity of marriage, but if you're unhappy, get out of there.
and I think it's sad that people stay unhappy. Like I you've heard me say it a million times. Like with my ex that blindside broke up with me. I'm yeah, it fucking hurt, but I'm so grateful he did because if not, like, what if we got married? What if we then had kids? What if next thing you know we're 40 and that's when he's like finally had enough of it and he's like, I can't be with you anymore.
But there's so much resentment that gets built up, and then you get mad like, "Well, you didn't put the salt away," and it's like, "Okay, I didn't put the salt away." Like,
Yeah.
why is it like, "Okay, then
Well,
you
and then
put it
they're
away,"
having
like
fights over, like, little tiny things, like, he basically just said he had a gut feeling that I wasn't who he spent the rest of his life with, which, like, yeah, because neither of us did anything wrong in the relationship, and neither of us would have. He had that feeling, and he made a action on it, which I think is I don't know if the right word is, like, but commendable.
respectable, I would say.
Yeah, like, you were feeling this way and you acted on it, and I think there are so many people out there that feel this way about their relationship, but then they're afraid of being alone or afraid of making that move or breaking up that because like, we weren't unhappy. He wasn't unhappy, but he just had this feeling that we weren't going to be forever, and so
Yeah.
he took action on it, which, like, yeah, it is respectable, like, yeah, it fucking sucked, and it sucked for both of us. I think it was sad for both parties. It wasn't like yeah, it happened to me, but he was sad too. We've had that discussion since, but he made that choice and like thankful for it because I mean, my life has completely changed since then in like basically all good ways. Now I get to like live my own life and wherever he is, he's living his own life and hopefully he's happier because like I know I am.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think also I've noticed this in a lot of older generations. Like my parents are kind of young, but I noticed this in like parents that are like often in their 60s, like mid to late 60s, is like the woman did everything for the dad.
Mhm.
Now she's like struggling to figure out where her life is because she's like, well, I would go to work and then I'd cook and clean and he'd sit on the couch. I even noticed that like when they're separated, they still go and do all these things for that man. And it's like, dude, that's why he's like not, you know what I mean? Like you're still, he knows that he can have you back in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Like you're still going out of your way to go grocery shopping for him. Y'all have been separated for 8 months.
No, you can't keep acting like a wifey or acting like a girlfriend if you ain't that in that position.
I
That's like
know.
going to work and not getting paid.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that.
We're past it. I think that's why also so many people in our generation stay single for so long because like specific like women specifically, like I'm not gonna be your mom.
No. Well, and I think women have made themselves better in the last 10 years and have really like improved themselves and like in all aspects of life, whether that's career and education, but also like fitness and
Yeah.
things like that. I don't think at the same rate men improved.
No, I agree. I think men stayed stagnant. I think it is a lot of women looked at their moms, and a lot of moms are stay-at-home moms, and you could tell, like, say the mom is unhappy, and she has no form of like her own income. It's based off of her husband. And a lot of marriages stay together because of financial situations. A lot of women, I think, these days are like, I don't want to stay in a situation because I have to rely on somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, I think I think a lot of our aged parents are divorced, and I think, like, women kinda see, like, I don't wanna be like that. I don't wanna be in a situation where I'm having to rely on my husband. I want my own form of income. I want my own independence.
Now that we've actually like we've gone to college and we've entered the workforce and everything, like I think a lot of people our age, they can't imagine just being a like stay-at-home mom. Want kids. I want to be married. I would love several kids, but I wouldn't want like a typical 9 to 5, I don't think. I don't even have one now, so I don't think that's in the fucking cards. But I do think I would want something to keep me busy. Yeah, it would be great to be like the mom that woke up, brought their kids to school, then went and did like Pilates, and then went on like a lunch date and had a mimosa, and then went and picked up the kids. Like, yeah, that would be cool. How many days can I do that?
Yeah, I honestly just don't want that for myself. I think I'm just always gonna work regardless. I want to work.
Yeah.
I worked hard to get to where I am. You know, I was struggled through, like, a lot in college. I'm like, "I worked for this." Like, I'm not just gonna drop that.
Well, and I think part of that too is like we also both paid for our own college.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We both, like, worked through it. It wasn't given to us. Not that I mean, you have to work through college, but, like, we had to pay our I had to take a year off because I could not afford to go to
Yeah.
college.
I mean, I just took out a shit ton of loans and every semester I'd be like, "Damn, I'm rich." And then like, like bill, 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 and I'm like, "And now I'm poor." Like we had at my favorite bar, Potts, every Thursday was purgatory, which was $10 all you can drink. And I remember my best friend and I, we would literally pay for one person to get the $10 all you can drink because we were too poor to each pay the $10. And you get like this like plastic cup, like literally a bar cup. That's the cup you get, and you get to like you go up to the bar and they like keep making drinks and refilling them in that. And there we are, like getting a drink, chugging it, and then getting another one so that the other person can like get a drink too. To think how
I
far we've
remember
come.
I remember there was the library in Orlando. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
$5 entrance fee for
Oh, do I know
free
what that
drinks.
is? That
Oh, I know
that
you know what that
I've
is.
been there once.
I almost went with you.
Not a good time. The evening did not end well.
Not rad.
Not especially not rad for my parents.
No.
And on that note, we're gonna end this episode. To not go any further down that story note. Well, thank you for tuning in to episode 5, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye
Bye.
all.